Hello out there, casual fanatics. Jeremy here.
And Robert.
And this is a special casual vlog that I'm taking during a mini vacation. Unfortunately, I was not able to make it to MagFest this year, partially because of moving and also because of, well, a few weeks ago where my voice crapped out on me, so I ended up not being able to take a full week. So I did take a half of a week of vacation, and Robert and I have decided to hop down to Dallas for a little bit today. The drive down was
eventful.
Yeah. Yeah, the drive down was in fact eventful. Quite a bit of construction going on here in Dallas. They're adding new interchanges and express lanes and such. It was kind of funny though, because coming in across the Red River, there was a sign that said, "Welcome to Texas. Drive friendly, the Texas way." Since we have gotten into Texas, we have been cut off at least, what, 5 times by drivers? So, now, admittedly, one of them did have Kansas license plates, but even so, clearly he missed the sign about driving friendly, the Texas way. And apparently so did the other 4 people who cut us off, including a truck who cut us off while we were on I-35 east-south.
Yeah, southbound I-35E.
Which is just awkward to say. Yeah, just cut us off right in front during one of the worst parts of the traffic jam that we were coming through. And of course, keep in mind, that was the traffic jam occurring at about like 2:30, as opposed to the traffic jam that we're probably going to hit on the way back. So, yeah, way to drive friendly, the Texas way. Anyway, we are now here in the Galleria Dallas Mall because I've never been here before, and I don't know if Robert's been here before. Have you ever been here before? This does seem to be a bit of a more upscale mall.
Think Quail Springs times 100.
Yeah, so neither one of us have been here. Of course, it being an upscale mall, which one of us looks the most like they belong here?
Don't answer that.
The answer is clearly me, because let's face it, I look like a fucking hipster, okay? Let's go inside. I hate to disappoint you all, but Robert and I are not doing that.
With all our bones intact, thank you very much.
Yes, I just paid off my bill for the laryngitis. I don't want to incur another medical expense on top of it. We were looking for one of my favorite mall stores first, Tijuana, and got a little turned around. Such happens when you're in an unfamiliar place, but we're going to find that out because, quite frankly, I'm really thirsty, and they have free samples of tea there. So I'm kind of cheap right now. So we'll see if we can figure out. And that board doesn't have a map on it. Well, frig me. Ladies and gentlemen, I come to you with news that will absolutely, positively not surprise you. We were going the complete wrong damn direction. We were heading towards the Gap section of the Galleria, and we needed to head more toward the Nordstrom direction. So, suffice it to say, we are now on the correct path and heading to where we need to go. I am such an idiot. I just want to say, I love that shirt so much. You see that? That's a store for a very specific brand of couch. I don't want to know how it got its name. Please do not tell me. Everybody has that one store in the mall that is the dangerous store to go to. The one store that you go in that you sometimes actually have to avoid when you're on a budget. Otherwise, you may spend more money there than you intend to. For me, Tijuana is that store. Why? Because I freaking love tea. Not just when I'm sick, but even when I'm not sick. I've still been drinking tea like crazy. To that end, Robert, I spent about what, 22 bucks?
Yeah.
Getting a couple of bits of tea. So I tried to be a little budget conscious, but I couldn't help myself nonetheless because, again, I love tea and I like Teavana. They've got some really good blends. So if you are a tea lover, I think, yes, they are connected to Starbucks, but don't let that dissuade you because they do still have really great tea. It will again come as no surprise to any of you that we have once again managed to get lost a little bit. This time trying to find our egress point, the point from which we came in, so that we can leave and get to the car. Let's see. Purple garage. Looks like the access to that is, oh, near the hotel entrance, actually. So we just need to head back towards center, I guess. All right. Yeah, we're not spending a whole lot of time here because A, it's freaking huge, and B, we kind of want to get on the road before rush hour traffic begins, and it is creeping up on 4 o'clock Central Standard Time right now. So if we don't get going within about the next 30 minutes or so,
We're going to be spending the night in Dallas, Texas.
well, at the very least, we're going to be spending most of the night in Dallas, Texas on I-35 or I-35 East, North, or whatever. I still don't get that. Are you kidding me? That movie warranted a prequel? So let me get this straight. They'll have a Teavana in the store, but no Williams Sonoma, and instead you get La Crusade. I mean, La Crusade isn't that bad of a store, but come on, let's face it, it's no Williams Sonoma. You're an upper-class mall, Galleria. Step it up. We saw a couple of people taking pictures in the Galleria Mall using a selfie stick, and well, honestly, that's really just lazy. That's my big problem with it. It's really just lazy to use a selfie stick. You know what I use to take this video? What I use as the selfie stick? This right here, baby. It ain't much, it ain't very strong, and it gets tired very easily, but it works just as well. Don't be lazy. Use your arms, son. This is not the entrance you want to use when you've had a little too much Dr. Pepper in your system, I'll tell you that. I mean, it's no Bellagio, but still, if you've been holding it in for all through the Dallas traffic jams, you better hope you come up to the Galleria from a different entrance than this one.
Better light.
Yeah, well, there we go. And turn on the light because it's kind of a little dim in the parking garage because, well, parking garage. Anyway, we have decided to go ahead and escape from the Galleria Mall while we still had our sense of direction intact. So we may do a little bit on the road, but as far as the part of the trip where we're actually in the Galleria Mall, that part is done. If we find anything interesting on the road, we may come back in and talk to y'all. So otherwise, well, I guess we'll see it probably when we get back into Oklahoma. So yeah, we better get on the road because it's 4 o'clock now, and if we don't get on the road pretty soon, it is a major city and it is almost go home time for quite a few people, and there's road construction. I'll let you do the math yourself. Well, so much for avoiding Dallas traffic.
Turn right onto I-635 Service Road.
Yeah, slight problem with that, Google Maps. Well, I would show you what the problem is, but I'd be recording license plates, numbers, and then I'd have to edit that out in the footage, and that would be just a real great big pain in the ass, so.
She will soon inform you.
I am kind of concerned, guys. My GPS has not yet told me to get onto a major interstate. I've been on service roads at best. I'm hoping that Google Maps is not starting to turn on me like my former GPS Mina once did. That would Those are not memories I want to relive. This is kind of a sense of how boring that traffic can be sometimes. Robert and I just had kind of a deep discussion about the realization that Michael Buffer was supposed to be the big deal of the two announcer Buffer brothers, but now his brother Bruce gets more work for him because, let's face it, UFC has surpassed boxing very handily. So we can just imagine how awkward family dinners are now with if their parents are still alive, them asking Bruce about everything that he's doing, and Michael just being there, not doing much of anything anymore, looking awkward, like, but I trademarked, let's get ready to rumble. I'm rich. Talk about me. And Bruce is like, yeah, but you haven't actually you haven't actually announced a match in how long now? We're weird. We're very weird. There is an oyster bar here in the DFW Greater Metropolitan Area called Aw Shucks Oyster Bar. Aw Shucks Oyster Bar. I'll just leave you to stew over that one. Oh, god damn it, I made a pun too. Seen on the side of the road a billboard for Stephen F. Austin State University that says, "Lumberjacks make great publicists."
He's a lumberjack.
And he's okay. He sleeps all night and he works all day. I cut down trees, I write up speeches, make sure you don't fuck up. And if you do make mistakes, you better fucking buck up. I'm a publicist and I'm okay. I work all night and I sleep all day. Well, we just about ran into somebody who was crossing the double white line, driving friendly, the Texas way. But the real reason why we started up the vlog again was because we saw a big semi advertising some kind of product marked Mile High, H-I, which made me wonder, what would the Mile High Club be? You know, instead of having sex in an airplane, would it be just, you know, making a new friend on an airplane? Now, what constitutes a mile high, anyway? Well, I mean, besides buying medicinal marijuana in Colorado. Oh, we forgot to mention earlier that aside from going to the Galleria Mall in Dallas, we also went to a game store. That was actually kind of our launching point in Dallas because, well, I'm driving, that's why. It was called, if I remember correctly, Common Ground Games?
Common Ground Games.
Yeah, which is a great name for a game shop. That's one of those places where you're pretty certain, you know, whatever you play, you're pretty much going to be accepted. I don't know how true that is because I didn't stay there very long, but we did get a couple of things from there. I did get a couple of things from there. I'll show off what they are probably when we get back to the apartment. One other thing to note about Common Ground Games is that it was in a shopping center not far removed from a district in Dallas, from an area of Dallas that Robert and I have affectionately named the No Fucks Given District, because much of the district seems to be, well, let's put it this way, there were a lot of adult establishments nearby the area, plus one Texaco that apparently was the low priority for maintenance on that particular chain. But that's actually kind of a good place for a game store because, let's face it, you're not going to get any judgments about putting a game store in such a district. I mean, on the one hand, you got one kind of game, and the other, you got a very different kind of game. Okay, I think I just creeped myself out with that comparison. To all of us who play tabletop games, I'm sorry. Well, we just crossed the Red River, so we are back in Oklahoma. No such signs reminding people to drive friendly the Oklahoma way. But I guess that's because, well, they just want you to pull off, because just off to my right, again, I don't have the camera switched around to where you can see this, is the largest casino in Oklahoma, otherwise known as kind of our little mini Vegas, the WinStar Casino, which is pretty much its own little city just off of the Red River. Not having the money to get to gamble, we are not going to be stopping there. So we're just going to keep driving along and singing our song. Sorry. For most of this trip, for obvious reasons, well, most of the trip back up anyway, for obvious reasons, most of them related to the fact that the DMCA sucks. I have not had any music playing, which for me is actually kind of a bad thing, because part of what I like the most fun about driving places is having the radio on, singing along with it, listening to music, and just jamming the fuck out. I'd had Pandora on for a little bit, but I hit a dead spot where there was no 4G coverage, so that kind of paused for now. Again, I can't record any of those moments when I'm singing along with the songs, because record companies can be dicks. It's getting dark. Too dark to see. Feels like we just drove past Purcell.
Yep.
What did you think I was going to do? A Bob Dylan reference? Anyway, like I said, at this point, probably this will be the last little bit that you'll see from us on the road. Nothing really interesting. I just wanted to mention that the next time that we're here on the camera, it will be once we are finally back in the apartment, which from the looks of things should be somewhere in the neighborhood about 8:30 or 9 our time. Fun. Been a good long day, actually. To be fair, I didn't really do anything that I probably couldn't have done locally, but it's just a matter of being able to get out and about and get some sunshine and some fresh air and just drive and zen out for a while, rock out for a while. That's really, I think, what attracts me the most to going on long drive trips like this. At least that's what it works for me. What do you think?
Yep. Get out of the house and everything.
Yeah. So, like I said, we'll meet you back at the apartment. So, see you then. Well, folks, I think I've come to a realization while listening to the radio. There are much better Rob Zombie songs than Dragula. Dragula just gets so overplayed. In fact, personally speaking, I much prefer Living Dead Girl. Of course, I imagine with the kind of the beats and the lyrics to the song, strippers across the United States and probably several other countries also prefer Living Dead Girl, but hey, I guess that's one thing I actually have in common with them. Well, besides the fact that I am somewhat comfortable with my life and also comfortable with their choice of theirs, so. Alright, so I'm going to show off what exactly it is that I got. For instance, this is the first thing that I got here. This Pathfinder module, the Emerald Spire Super Dungeon. Looks to be basically a dungeon delve that can be used in Pathfinder, or is compatible with 3.5 through the OGL. And then, because one can never have too many of these, yet another set of polyhedral dice. course, this may largely be used if Robert if I ever get Robert into learning the game, so that he can have a set of dice for him. But they're still going to be kept in my bag because I said so. And that's going to be all for us for this little road trip. I hope you've enjoyed what we've shown of it and all the wackiness that has ensued in regards to that. I had a fun trip. I know I did. And
It was fun. Just get out of the house and.
yeah, sometimes you just got those days where you just got to get up and go. So that was today. So until next time, I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Robert.
Keep it casual, y'all.
And drive friendly.
The
Texas way.